All right, how about them Cowboys? So, you're doing. Don't look at my earlobe. All right, everybody. You should be able to do this on your own. So hopefully you did. Hopefully you turned in last week's warm-ups. Okay, you don't want to be like this guy. When's y'all's test? Thursday. So that means little notes today. I'll give you the assignment. Finish it up today or tomorrow, and then review Wednesday. Test Thursday. Cool. So you should be able to take each of these and change the sign, flip the fraction. So is this first one, is that positive or negative? Positive. So it's going to turn into what? Negative, right? So here we go. 1/2 turns into negative. And when you flip it, what's it going to be? 2 over 1. Okay? Now, that's opposite and reciprocal. Change sign, flip fraction. And do you all know that if it's over 1, you can just kind of get rid of the divided by 1? It really is the same thing as just -2. Okay? All right? Hey, phony. No phone. All right, number 2. Is this positive or negative? Negative, so it's going to turn into positive. Now, you don't put a plus sign, just nothing. And then flip it, what's it going to be? 5 over 4. That is an improper fraction. You don't have to turn it into a mixed number. Just leave it like that. Reduced 5 over 4 is good. Kind of looks weird. Whatever. And then number 3, now this says 7. Not a fraction, but do y'all know how to turn 7 into a fraction? 7 is the same thing as 7 over 1. Do y'all know that? Whole number is over 1. Now I can change it. Change the sign. So is that positive or negative? Positive is going to become negative. And then flip it. It's going to be what? 1 over 7. Okay? So we're going to use that today. That's a review of stuff you did in Algebra 1, hopefully. The notes are going to be quicker than it looks. The notes look like 2 whole pages of stuff. But once we get started, I'm going to kind of just end it early because once you get the idea, you get the idea. Okay? So we're just going to go through example 3 and be done, so we don't have to keep doing a bunch of stuff over and over and over. Sound good? Just, what? Where you're going to learn new stuff. That's why I said, can you wait till after the notes, not the warm-up? Can you wait till after the notes? Okay. If you can, that'd be better. Just saying. We got new stuff. Yes. All right, here we go. Number 1, not number 1. First word we're going to define here is parallel. You all know what parallel means? Cool. But parallel doesn't mean, it means the same slope. They do not cross. So let's write that here. Parallel lines have the same slope. Have the same slope. Okay. What's the symbol for parallel? 2 lines going up and down. Okay. So that's how you notate parallel. Perpendicular, this gets to what we just talked about. Perpendicular lines have opposite, which is the plus minus sign. Reciprocal, which is the flip. Slope. So what we just did on the warm-up is how you find an opposite, reciprocal, perpendicular slope. And the symbol is an upside-down T looking thing. That is a perpendicular symbol. Now, on your notes, right here, it says opposite already, okay? So don't scratch it out. Yours already says opposite. You're good, okay? Yours is right. Mine said negative, but we'd rather use the word opposite so you know that it changes. So to find the opposite reciprocal slope, like we just said, you change the positive, negative sign and flip the fraction. Cool. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, you're going to do just like we did on the warm-up. Can you change the sign and flip the fraction? I'm going to give you like literally 1 minute. See if you can do 1 through 5. Go. 1 minute. We're going to get through 3 examples together. So make sure you know how to do it. 30 more seconds on 1 through 5 right here. And, all right, here we go. Number 1, positive or negative? Positive or negative? It is positive, so it turns negative, and we flip it and becomes negative 4/3, right? Okay, number 2, the number 2 is 2/1. That is, hey, phone people, phonies, phone away, headphones, please. In the back, everybody, in the back, in the back, everybody, in the back. Everybody in the back with the phone in your hand. Thank you. All right. So 2/1 is positive. We change it into a negative what? Negative, but you got to flip it and it becomes what? Negative 1/2. Okay? So always do 2 things. Change the sign, flip the fraction. Negative 7/8 becomes what? A positive what? 8/7 is good. Now, a regular 1 is 1/1. If you change the sign, it'll become negative. And if you flip it, it's going to look like negative 1/1 because when you flip it, the numbers are the same, which is just negative 1. Cool? Now, number 5, 0. Look right here. Y'all remember when we talked about 0 slope? It's like 0 effort to stand on. It's flat, horizontal. The perpendicular would be like this, going straight up and down. What do you call that slope that you're unable to stand on? Unable to stand is undefined. Okay? Now let me show you why. 0/1, if you flip it over, becomes 1/0. Can you divide by 0? 1 divided by 0. You can never divide by 0. That's why we say, don't even write it down. It's undefined. So 0 and undefined, those are perpendiculars of each other. 0, undefined. Undefined, 0. Now, look at the examples. If you look at it, there's 4 on this page. You flip it over, there's 6 on the next page. There's a lot of the same stuff going on here. So if we can just show a couple of them, kind of get the idea, then we can kind of say, hey, y'all get it. Okay? So hopefully we can just show 3 of these and you'll be good and understand. Cool? Start with number 1. We need to find the first box is to find the slope of AB. Okay? So y'all remember how to find slope from yesterday? Sorry, yesterday, I mean Friday and Thursday last week. Y'all know the slope formula? Let's write it down off to the side here. Slope formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay? That is our slope formula. Write that down so you have it. Don't put it in your phone. Don't put it in your phone. Make sure you write it on your paper. Oh, sorry. My stick just went crazy. All right, now, We're finding the slope of AB. Going right down AB. When I find slope of AB, only use those numbers. I'm going to do y2 minus y1 on top of a fraction bar. y2 is 6 minus y1 is 3. So 6 minus 3 on top. On the bottom, I'm going to do x2 minus x1. So 2 minus negative 2. 2 minus sign, negative sign, 2. Now, remember, you can do this in one step on your calculators. You do a new document, don't save, number 1. Control, divide, 6 minus 3 on top, 2 minus negative 2 on the bottom, and we get 3 over 4. All right, now CD, by the way, write that in your first box, 3 over 4. For CD, we're going to do the same idea. Right now, in the middle of these brand new notes. No. All right, CD, go and write that down. And I got people ahead of you, by the way. CD, go to draw your fraction bar. We're going to do y2 minus y1, so 3 minus 0, over x2 minus x1, 3 minus negative 1. Can you type that in your calculator? One step. Control divide, 3 minus 0, 3 minus negative 1. And I got 3 over 4. Again, put that in your second box. Now, at the top of this page, we wrote, what do you call it when the slopes are exactly the same? Parallel. Does everyone see that? Parallel lines have the same slope. So on this one, if you do all your math right, you see the slopes are the exact same. Make sure you reduce them if you need to make sure they're the exact same. You can write parallel. Does that make sense? If your slopes match, you write parallel. Cool? Let's do number 2. Same idea. Slope of AB. Fraction bar, y2 minus y1 is 4 minus 2. x2 minus x1 is 5 minus 0. So I go to my calculator, control divide, 4 minus 2 on top, 5 minus 0 on the bottom. I get 2 over 5. Cool. Then I'm going to do CD, fraction bar, y2 minus y1 is 3 minus 8, x2 minus x1 is 3 minus 1, and go to my calculator, control divide, 3 minus 8 on top, 3 minus 1 on the bottom, hit enter, and I get negative 5 over 2. Now let's write those next to each other. So AB was 2 over 5, CD was negative 5 over 2. Now, your first question is, are they the same? Are these both the exact same? No, so it's not parallel. Now let's think about, is it perpendicular? What are the two changes it has to do? Change the sign, flip the fraction. Did the sign change? Positive and negative, yeah. Did the fraction flip? Yeah. Both have to be there. Change the sign and flip the fraction. Since they're both there, the sign changed and the fraction flipped. That means it is perpendicular. Did everyone see that up here at the top? Perpendicular is when you change the sign, flip the fraction. Okay? So let's go ahead and write that in right here for the third one. Perpendicular. All right? Does it make sense? But I want to make sure you do number 3. So everybody, ready? Let's do number 3. What? AB. We'll do it quick. Ready? y2 minus y1, 6 minus 8. 2 minus negative 1 on the bottom. Control divide, 6 minus 8, 2 minus negative 1. I got negative 2 over 3. CD, y2 minus y1, 3 minus 2. X2 minus x1, 3 minus negative 1. Control divide, 3 minus 2, 3 minus negative 1. Fill those in. All right. Step 1, are they the same? Are they parallel? No, right? Now here's the question. If they're not parallel, what are they going to be? The other option we have is perpendicular. Maybe. Let's see if it has the two changes. Did it change the sign? Negative to positive. Yeah. Did it flip the fraction? 2 over 3, 1 over 4? It did not flip the fraction. So it's actually not even perpendicular. What do I put? Did you read the instructions? You either put parallel, perpendicular if it has both changes, or what? Neither. If it does not change the sign and flip the fraction perfectly, you're going to put neither. This is called skew. Okay, we'll revisit that on the review tomorrow or Wednesday. Okay? These are the three types of problems you'll see. If they're the exact same, they're parallel. If it's opposite reciprocal, where you change the sign and flip the fraction, that's perpendicular. But if it's not exactly perpendicular and it's not exactly the same, it's neither. Okay? Do we need to do 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of the same stuff for you to get this? Or do you get it? Okay, so shorter notes. I think we get it. If you don't, ask me questions. Work together, whatever. I'm going to pass out the assignment. On this assignment, you can stop at 16. Okay? You don't have to do the last 4. I'm going to pass it out now. Make sure you work on this. You have today and then also tomorrow, but some of y'all still need to do corrections on quizzes and tests. I'll let you know about that. Okay? Here we go.